Hello and welcome to this very important session. We have with us Mr. Michael Kruppe, and we thank you for joining us today, Michael. And we congratulate you because your venue is taking a lead in organizing physical events post COVID. Well, congratulations for that. And we would like to understand what measures is your venue taking to ensure this kind of productivity and success post the COVID era.
Roger, thank you very much. My pleasure to be here. And I'm actually very glad that you used the word physical events. I hate this word offline because offline, that's us, that's face to face, and offline sounds so negative. So it's physical. Thank you for making that clear. Well, Roger, last year, as we all know, was a big challenge because nobody knew, nobody had experience how to deal with the situation. We actually we were kind of lucky that we were allowed by government, by the health authorities, by police, everybody who's investing and investigating and in charge of giving approvals. We could reopen last year in June, end of June, Semicon. So a semiconductor show was the first one which could come back. We have used the time before June last year to develop tons of material of safety procedures, security protocols. We had some rehearsals with 50, 100 people and so on. So long story short, that took 2, 3, 4 months. And the safety protocols are, if you ask me, the key to make us physical face to face again. Because the people are all over the world still nervous. They worry if they can come to an exhibition like ours. Is it safe? Is it not safe? So last year we have set up, a long list of protocols from social distancing, queuing with being a part of 1.5 meters, wearing face masks, going through registration with a temperature check and with the face recognition system, which is here in China, used already for many years, which could identify you as a person being able to be tracked. If you have been to a risk area, then the system would recognize you and you would not be allowed to the show. So there are a couple of digital tools, and you may even call us a smart venue, or we will have smart exhibitions in our venue taking place. But it's all the result, the success we had last year is a combination of the cooperation between all stakeholders. So the government, the police, the organizers, the venue, everybody. Now that was last year. So when the year went on to 2021, especially here in China, we basically had it under control. As we know, before Chinese New Year, some numbers came up, and you may have heard about the city called Qingdao in the north of China, in Shandong province, where there were 5 or 6 cases, and government decided to test all 9 million or 10 million people over the course of 2 or 3 weeks because of 6 people. Now that is how things are being done here, and very effective. Even during the Chinese New Year travel period, where usually 700 million are traveling, I think India probably is a kind of similar thing. This year, we don't know the actual number, but my guess, it's probably just 100 million, 150 million. So the risk of the further spread was massively reduced. And another important thing here is wearing the face mask. Here in the office, of course, I'm in my office alone, but once you're in the venue, absolutely, it's a must. You have to wear the face mask. And you know what? Everybody's doing it. And I know from our friends in Europe, America, mainly Western world, India, I'm not so sure, you tell me more about it later, but a lot of people are refusing just to wear face masks, not protecting yourself, but also others, which here in China, I observe it everywhere, train stations, planes, and so on. The face mask wearing thing is, to me, a large help and massively helps to reduce the further spread. Now, after Chinese New Year, we have new challenges. Now, showtime starts, GSMA just opened 2 days ago. Even 2 days before the show, it was not sure if we really can hold the show. Of course, government is nervous, police is nervous, people are nervous. The organizer, GSMA, we had almost a 24/7 hour hotline. Almost every 2 or 3 hours was a new situation. No, it's not allowed. It's only allowed 20% of the people, and different scenarios, because nobody knew what's happening now with the virus after the traveling. And also here, long story short, finally all stakeholders, and in the end, government here in Shanghai, police is in charge, agreed and approved that GSMA can take place, because we proved that our safety protocols and our safety measures are effective, are working. And again, the face mask wearing is followed by almost 100% of the people. And let me make a short break here. So that's very roughly, Rajaf, what we learned from last year, and what we learned, most of it we hopefully can use this year, so to help us to make every show more safe.
Absolutely. And you mentioned about the World Mobile Congress, which is currently on at your venue, and everybody is actually amazed by the success of that show. You have a lot of role to make sure that exhibitions happen successfully, are conducted successfully. So can you throw some light on the success story of how you work together with the organizer to make this show a success?
Well, I have to repeat it, that the success of this show is one part is commercially, one part with exhibitors. But let me just say 50%, just to say a number, at least half of the success is depending how much we as a venue and the organizer can guarantee a safe show, a safe venue. And besides all the measures from last year, all the measurements from last year, and we applied also this year, we added some new tools or some new codes. We have here a so-called green health code, which is GPS tracked. So the system knows when you're moving to risk areas, which luckily now we don't have anymore. But 2-3 weeks ago, we had up to 80, 85 low or mid-risk areas, even one high-risk area. So the system can track you, because everybody has a mobile phone, that once you were in that area, within 14 days, it would show you. So one part of the success is we developed together, again, with the government here, a new requirement. That means if you came to Shanghai less than 14 days, you had to apply for a corona test, for a nucleic acid test here. We also offer that on the venue. So if you don't have it and you want to come, you can do it. It's a result is available in 4 hours. Okay, it's not within seconds. Maybe that's the future for all of us, but at the moment it takes some hours. But at least as a visitor, as an exhibitor, you can plan it, and then you can come even one day or one morning earlier. So there is a way of basically it's split into over 14 days, then you don't only have to show your normal green health code, or less than 14 days in Shanghai, then you have to go to the nucleic acid test station, and then you get a digital pass, if you want, on your mobile phone, and then you show that to our cameras, our face recognition and digital trackers, and then if you're green, you're free to come in. And let me add that last year we had 3.5 million visitors. We only had 2 cases of visitors who had temperatures higher than 37.2. So these 2 cases were isolated, brought into a special area, then brought to hospital for double check, and it turned out no corona. And similar with the nucleic acid test, if somebody really have a higher temperature, or if the test would be negative, of course, these people would not be allowed in.
Absolutely. And Michael, you are a veteran in our industry globally. What is your take on the physical events? Will they, take shape in 2021?
Well, Roger, that is a question we all are wondering what's happening. And there are so many webinars, meetings about on offline hybrid versus us, face to face. And I can tell you the last year first show in June, which was Semicon, and before that, we have discussed over and over, let's make it a digital event and how much is the percentage and so on. After people were able to be on the show floor, to meet face to face, even with a face mask, I would say 90% of the organizers who planned to have a digital part just did not do it. 10%, some of the big shows, we have the furniture, which is the whole venue, 300,000 square meters. They added a digital part. China Joy, which is a game show, entertainment show, they traditionally added some digital parts. But now being able to come back and meet face to face, my view on 21 is that hopefully with further control here in China, here in my venue in SNIEC, I do not see a further increase on organizers investing more money, because remember, that's very expensive, investing more money and time in online events. I believe many of them will consider 5%, 10% of the show content to offer digitally, but I don't see any further increase in 20, 30, 50%. No way.
Michael, those are very positive words coming from you. And could you also throw some light on major events that are lined up at your venue in 2021?
Yeah, we have, well, as you probably know, we are one of the most busy venues in 2019, over 70% occupancy rate. We basically have all the organizers here. We have all the big B2B, even B2C shows. Let me start with B2B. We had Bauma every 2 years, which is the largest show by Messe Munich, with actually over 300,000 square meters, 320,000 square meters. We have coming up in March, the Domotex. We have the Hotelex by Informa. These are all shows coming up in, we have the Cial, the food tech, we have kitchen and bath, the whole venue. You name it, it goes back to back, basically from now until December. And I also think this year will be the first year that we will see even shows during Christmas time. Before that was also many international organizers. Christmas here in end of December was a no-no. But now I believe due to the tight schedule and further impact of Corona, probably some shows will also come here to SNIEC in December. So at the moment, we are already mostly fully booked. There's one time slot in June available at the moment, but that's only like for 5 halls out of 20 what we have totally. So the whole year is fully booked with big shows as I mentioned, and it looks positive. Hopefully nothing happens with Corona. Hopefully the vaccination procedures all over the world and also here in China will go on. My team, our first so-called first row persons, these are the people like in airports, immigration officers and so on, who meet people, who treat or deal with people. They will receive vaccinations. And myself, I haven't got a shot yet, but I'm ready to go in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
All right. My final question to you, Michael, would be, what, according to you, would be the upcoming trends that will shape the future of our industry?
Well, I think already before Corona, we have been seeing here a major, or let me say a large shift from all B2B organizers to integrate consumer elements in their shows. A couple of examples, the furniture show did it, the toy and license, which is also partly education. We have a sports fair IWF show, which already integrated. We have the pet show with the animals, crazy show, the whole venue full of, not only animals, but also supplying pet food, even pet education. They added a consumer day. So I see the consumer part plus the experience. So a normal visitor, imagine that Corona will be under control. A normal visitor to a show, but also the exhibitor, they do not only want to show their services, their products, they also want to entertain the people who are coming. We have like the Hotelex show I mentioned, which is also supplying like a pizza competition or cocktail competition. We even have dance shows for the IWF, which is the sports show here. We even build up a pool, a water pool. We have outdoor car racing, a lot of entertainment parts. People, potential buyers get younger and younger. Yeah, unfortunately, we get older and older, but at least we can manage the venue. So, of course, we like entertainment. So I think this is a major trend into, let me use the word festival character. And that is also the reason why SNIEC, you can see our logo behind. We have another logo called SNIEC Events, that in the off season, like end of December, January, shortly before Chinese New Year, we already started to have events here in SNIEC, like mass weddings, concerts, food festivals, and so on. So that is for me a clear trend, and we just call it non-B2B events. Some people call it Convex, some people call it B2B2C. Whatever the word is, it's a big trend here in China, and I'm also sure India and other parts of the world.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sparing your time for us today. And we wish you all the very best and keep driving the future of our industry. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to you guys sooner or later. All the best.